The Airbnb in Dundee. If we had just booked a regular hotel like I suggested, none of this would have gone down the way it did. Emma, though, spotted this charming little flat on Airbnb. 5 stars, dirt cheap, £56 a night, and just a short walk from the university. She was taken with the idea of getting shots for Instagram from the bay window. I browsed the listing. Looked normal, quiet, basic, at least on the surface. We rolled in that Friday night in late April. Skies already spitting rain, standard Scottish weather. The building was on the second floor of an aging sandstone block, its facade flaking and tired. No lift. The street below was practically deserted, just a shuttered flower shop and a street lamp flickering like a dying bulb. Weird thing number one, the keypad. Emma keyed in the code once, twice, nada. I gave it a go, still no dice. On the fourth try, I slowed my fingers, tapping each number more deliberately. That time, it clicked. The door actually groaned when we nudged it open. No exaggeration, it made the kind of noise you'd hear in some low-budget horror flick. I gave a small chuckle to lighten the mood. Emma didn't join in. She stood at the threshold, brows furrowed. "What is it?" I asked her. She sniffed the air. "It smells like lavender and something rotten." The place was freezing. Even after fiddling with the radiator knob several times, it never got warm. It was furnished all right, typical bargain brand modern decor, but the flat didn't feel lived in. It felt like a stage, built for photos. There was a door that stayed shut. The listing called it owner's storage. Emma joked that it was probably full of old cleaning supplies or backup sheets. I didn't find that funny. That first evening, we kept it low-key. Pizza delivery, a bad movie, and an early crash. We were beat from the drive up from Glasgow. But around 3:30 in the morning, I woke up to a sound that didn't belong. Crying, faint, stifled, like someone was sobbing into bedding. Not in our room, though it was somewhere else. I stayed still and listened. The noise was coming from inside the wall. I slowly sat up. Emma was facing away, breathing evenly. I didn't want to wake her just yet. I slipped out of bed, my feet touching the cold wooden boards, and then the crying stopped. I stood still in the hallway, eyes locked on the shut storage door. A subtle draft passed by my leg, cold, unnatural. That radiator never kicked on once that entire night. The next morning, Emma didn't mention anything unusual, so I left it alone. But things definitely escalated on night 2. We spent Saturday wandering around Dundee markets, coffee shops, nothing strange. But once we got back, I noticed something small but unsettling. My phone charger had been unplugged and carefully coiled on the coffee table. I hadn't touched it. Emma swore she hadn't either. Later that night, close to 1:45 a.m., Emma jolted me awake. "Something pulled the blanket," she whispered. "What do you mean?" "Like a hand," she murmured. "It just tugged once." We exchanged a look in the dark. Then we both turned toward the window. Locked. The door was shut, and the room was again icy. Then it returned, crying, this time louder. Not the muffled kind from the night before. Sharper, harsher, almost angry. Emma clutched my arm. "It's inside the walls," she said, voice shaking. As insane as it sounded, I believed her. The sound was coming from behind the headboard, as if someone was trapped in the narrow space between walls, crying, clawing. I wanted to suggest we leave, but it was almost 2 a.m. in a town we didn't know. So we just stayed out, terrified, until daylight. By then, I needed answers. While Emma was in the shower, I grabbed a chair and inspected the smoke detector overhead. It looked newer than everything else in the flat. I pulled out my phone, switched on the flashlight, and angled it toward the center. Dead in the middle was a black circle, too small to be decorative. It was a camera lens. I moved to the bathroom next. That mirror was off too there. In one corner, a tiny dot. Another lens. No visible wires. No blinking lights. But someone had rigged the place up, and I doubted it had anything to do with Airbnb's security policies. Emma came out wrapped in a towel and caught me staring at the ceiling. "What is it?" "We have to leave. Now." She looked puzzled. "There are cameras," I told her. "I've found 2. Probably more." She didn't say a word, just dropped her towel and started throwing stuff into her bag. And then we heard it. A soft click. We both froze. The door to the owner's storage, the one that had been locked solid, was now cracked open, just barely. There wasn't a sound, no movement, just this awful stillness. And that feeling, like something had been watching the entire time, not through those cameras, but from inside that room. Emma whispered, "Don't open it." But I already was. I wish I hadn't. The handle was worn and cold to the touch. As the door eased open, it moaned like the floorboards in an old theater. The room behind it was narrow, without windows. The walls were cracked and stained, and in the middle there was a single child's mattress, no bedding, no sheets. Just a filthy, dark indent in the center, as if someone or something had laid there a long, long time. The air was heavy, muggy, and under the mildew was this metallic tang that made my stomach turn. The floor near the mattress had long, splintered gouges, like someone had been clawing the boards. On the back wall, frantic scribbles and tiny lettering covered the plaster, layer upon layer, as if etched in desperation by fingernails. Emma didn't say a word. She was trembling. I stepped in further, needing to be sure I wasn't imagining it, and then I heard it. A breath, right behind me, short, wet, close. I whipped around, heart hammering. No one. But Emma screamed. She wasn't looking at me. Her eyes were fixed past my shoulder, locked on the far corner. I turned in time to see the mattress move, just barely. The center rose. Like someone was lying beneath, about to get up. We bolted, out the door, down the stairs, into the freezing rain. Emma didn't even put her shoes on. I didn't look back. We drove for 2 hours before we spoke again. That night, I filed a report. Airbnb took the listing down without giving any real explanation. No refund, no apology, just a generic message. "We're sorry your experience didn't meet expectations." Then, a week later, I got a booking confirmation in my inbox. Same address. Same check-in dates. I never made the reservation. When I tried to cancel it, my account was locked. Suspicious activity, they said. I haven't used Airbnb since. The listing has vanished. No trace of it anywhere. But sometimes, when I'm home alone, lying in bed in the dark, I think about that room, that mattress, the scratches, the breath that touched my neck, and I swear, every once in a while, I hear someone crying, somewhere deep inside the walls.